Oh, it's pretty well timbered in here.
Yeah, it's pretty crappy.
Oh,
You can see the slabs out there. Those are baby slabs right there. These ones right here.
Those are baby slabs?
Yeah, those are little babies.
They're pretty big to me.
Here, the cord, can you hang on to this? That should be for you. So all this mud right here, you can step into it if you want, but you see if you sit in it for any amount of time and twist your feet around, you get stuck in it.
Oh, I need to step into that. I've done that before.
Now our voices don't echo anymore.
No.
But those are huge slabs and it breaks off way up there, 75, 100 feet up.
Did they work this, or were
They did work this because there's a channel up here.
Okay.
You start seeing cobble up there, and they breast it up there. And I've been back up there, and it just goes up this fucking crack for days, and just huge slabs.
Wow.
And they're standing on on edge vertically. They could fall over down. Or...
Yeah, I've been through those slabs before. They're not much fun.
Here's an abandoned decline right here.
That was like a pillar right there.
Yeah, it's a total failure of the ash layer up there. It just fell down in a big column.
Yeah, wow, there's like a pillar right there, actually.
That's the slab that fell out.
Oh man, that's wild. And there too.
There's a decline right there.
And you see there's a decline over here.
Back in there. But the majority of this mine is accessed on decline.
Oh, you're not getting down that, are you?
No, it was free and clear, when we first were in here working.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Huh.
The elevation and timbering and the lighting stays the same. You'll see a nice spot where there's a brow sticking out, it's timbered properly. This is all this collapse stuff from up here, all in the track. And it was also, underneath the track, it was just all mud, so we had to ballast everything in here as we went.
Huh.
Yeah, something like this, just to keep this knob from popping out. Yeah, that's why you have this brace in here.
Oh, okay, that one up there.
And you got your squeeze blocks, yes. And here's what the timbers were that we took out.
That's what you took out?
Yeah.
Wow.
And you can scamper back up there, Justin, and it'll give you a chance to pop through, and you can see the other side of those slabs if you like.
Okay, yeah.
So it goes through, and it goes through a little dog hole, and then you pop out and do like a hallway type thing. But that's a big old slab that fell out of there.
Yeah, it's
with a little bit of sign of gobbing, maybe, right underneath.
Yeah, I was just noticing that, yeah.
This stuff is very slippery right here, and it just falls right apart. You want to go in for it?
We just came from there, and coming up this way, and it is a mess back here. As you can see, it is bad news. It's amazing they were working back in these conditions, huh?
Isn't it?
Just squeezed up that passageway there, and have dropped into an old haulage adit that they've abandoned, and you can see all these slabs that have come crashing down. Probably Aaron estimated they're 500 tons each, and just completely filled in this whole area. Show you the other side here. You can see the old timber supports there, and yeah, it ran back that way, and it's been abandoned. That's wild.
No echo here.
Not at all. No, there's absolutely no echo at all. This is bad ground, as those slabs behind me demonstrate. Interesting. Okay, just came down from there, and we're continuing down the main haulage at it, which supposedly gets very tight in here. As you can see with my friend there.
It's so small here, you can see where the frames fit.
Oh, that's wild.
See that?
So yes, you can hear that. It's so narrow, but that's where the trains scrape the sides. Jeez. This is hard going, man. 4 drill stations?
Yeah, we had our drill set up back here. You know, forced in between this lagging in the back is where it's set up in proximity in this area. And we were drilling across the track, thus eliminating access to the rest of the mine. Basically. Anybody couldn't bring material through. You know, if not, it would really stop the drilling process. You can't stop, pull out, keep bringing it down because it just creates problems. One of these holes that we have drilled here is where we get water for the refuge chamber.
Huh.
You see the amount of stuff that gets stirred up, the old shit floating around there.
Is there a decline back there? Or?
Yes, it's an abandoned decline.
Huh.
We backfilled it in there. And
Interesting.
yeah, that would probably go down 60, 80 feet.
Oh, wow. Huh.
Oh, they got wet. This is our refuge chamber right here. You know, the pipe running through the bottom of it to be able to evacuate any water behind it.
Oh, makes sense.
You know, and it's sealed off from allowing debris to get into it.
Makes sense.
You know, first aid station, food and water. If you guys are thirsty, grab the water. Which I would recommend, because I'm going to do it. And it has to be airtight, sealed in case there's a fire or any other exposure.
That makes sense.
And basically, you know, this is where 4 or 5 people, or whoever was working underground, would come in to take refuge.
Huh.
There's some food in here, a few basic amenities to make it feel more like home. You know, this was an abandoned adit, drift section of an adit that went through, and we sealed it off by putting the block in there and making it airtight. But we chipped to make it more accommodating. We had to chip it all out by hand.
Wow.
Actually, D-wall electric spaders.
Nice.
They were very, very helpful.
RP chamber there. Continue down. Junction here.
There's some primitive gobbing in here. This is a section where there's a switch here, so we can switch cars out to the material. There's a dam back there, which we're getting half the water volume that flows out of this mine normally, coming out of a pipe. But if you go back there, you take a left. I don't know if you want to do that or not. You go back in there, you'll see a little crack. You dive through, and you'll start seeing the quartz show up. And there's more slabs. And then you come to an air door that's there, and it's beautiful beyond that. It's like, and there's like a winze right there that they started to dig, but it's the older section of the mine.
All right, just came from over there, made my way over the dam, even water back here, and in case you didn't pick up on it before, there's an adit used to keep running this way as well, which obviously is not accessible in any way now. And you can see some huge slabs that come down on this drift to the left here. Not sure how far we can squeeze back here, but we'll take a look. Bear with me. Okay, looking in that chamber now. This is nuts. You see all these huge slabs that have broken off and come down. Look up there as well. That's just nuts. Wow. Not safe ground, that is for sure. Huge, huge slabs. All right, squeeze through that tiny slot right there. Here's looking back to that chamber. It's filled with all these slabs that came down. That must be a very violent thing to see. Or it would be a very violent thing to see. Those coming down. So, when those came down and sort of obscured the fact that there's a drift level that runs off back here. You can see some more timber up there. Got a fork here. Something going off that way. And something going off that way. Looking off this way. So there remains of an air door here, probably. Really good echo in here. You see the rails right there? Amazing echo in here. Okay, I thought there was something like this back here. On this line, it seemed all that they would just punch back and stop. So we've got winds dropping down here, but it looks like it's plugged. At least it's got a bunch of debris here. But yeah, it goes down and drops off there. Presumably they're looking for the channel, and it just stops right there. So let's go down and look at that one that was on the right now. Back down. All right, we just looked down there, and now we've got this one off to the right. Looks like you've got some primitive gobbing right here. Rocks and nasty ground fall. Big slabs that come down here and there. Trying to see what that runs up a way. I can't tell if that was a stope or if that's just all cave material, but it goes up a way. That's about a foot scraping all over the world. Keeps going this way. That zone I was just looking up into, you can see some of the slabs from down here. Big slab of quartz right there, actually. So you've got looks like the drift level goes there a little way, but then look how it's delaminated right here. Those slabs are breaking down and have made almost like an archway of cave material or caving material right there. This is really bad ground. Huh. And yeah, like I said, it keeps going that way. I think I'll pick up right there. Alright, just came through there. I can see more pieces of quartz back here. It's pretty interesting actually, all along there. More big slabs have come down. You see everything's just breaking apart and fractured. And drift keeps running back that way, so I'll get over this mess and pick up over there. Alright, just came through there, and look how bad that is. See how that stuff's just fractured. That's ready to come down at any time. There's absolutely nothing supporting that at all above it either. So yeah, this is a sketchy ground. Definitely more and more quartz appearing here. I'm sure you notice there's no echo in my voice either. But yeah, I definitely got another quartz back here. Okay, yeah, this is all quartz through here. That's interesting. Think there might have been a decline or something right there, but that's filled in. The drift keeps going this way. See, timber support there. Like pipe clay right there. Pretty bad ground here. Oh, okay, no, I thought that was quartz. I think that's just sedimentary layers right there. Still going. Looks like there might be a stope or something up there. Old rotten timbers right here. Maybe the end of the line here. Yeah, I don't think I can go back there. Big chamber here. You can see they took a lot of material out of here. Yeah, it goes up a way. It's part of a stope chamber right there, it looks like. The air is definitely not getting back here. I'm breathing harder. See the remains of the timbers on the ground right there. And, yeah, okay, that just goes back there. And I don't know if that's caved or just that's where the stope chamber ends, but that's as far back as that goes. Interesting, lots of dimensions and layers to this mine. Just realized that's a huge slab right there that came down. That's a giant slab. I thought that was just, you know, the edge of the stope. That is actually a huge slab that came down. That is wild. Really unsafe ground here. Interesting stuff. Alright, let's go back and rejoin the others and see the rest of this mine. Continue down the main section here.
This above us was a big slab, probably 700 tonner.
Wow.
You know, it had eyeballs on it, eyeballing it every day. You can see it's timbered all the way up many.
Yeah.
Here's the first spot of quartz that comes through here.
Oh, nice.
First vein that runs through underneath all this stuff. Now they will continue to mine the vein in this direction right here, or run laterally along the width of it.
So we've left the placer behind, now we're in the Lode territory.
Back into salt here. See, this is where everything changes over to hand power. You know, we don't normally drive the train back in here. We have, but you see there's other mineral alteration right here. There's blue crap.
Yeah.
Leaching out of the, you know, it could be, you know, just part of the lava. You see the quartz vein stringers right in here.
Yeah.
It runs along here. It's highly mineralized. Looks like sulphites in it. It's been brachiated too, which is smashed and reassembled under pressure, which is always good for gold to precipitate into. Here's another dam, and then all this water that's coming out of this mine is coming from beyond this collapse. It's up here.
Oh, no shit.
This is an example of spiling. See above us?
Yeah.
This is all number 10 rebar right here, and they're placed one next to each other to hold the roof up through the collapse.
I can see why.
See the shit ground up there.
That's pretty messy.
Your timbers are spaced 2 feet apart to take more weight. A piece of rail is employed right here for a beam to go across because there's low headroom. Another section that has vent track, like there's none other. Only two places. You can see that it went this way. This was a switch here.
Yeah.
Went straight ahead. Right here you can look down and see the winds right here.
Oh yeah.
That's the winds right there where the majority of the water is coming out of.
No kidding. Yeah, the water's pouring out of there.
Yeah, and out here. So this is a major collapse section right here, and it's collapsed all the way up into right here, where it was cleared. You see the volume of material it takes to just hold it in place.
Yeah.
You know, and then there was a dam in place back there to capture the water and send it to another spot and then be piped out. More material left over from spiling right here. Right there. And then we have another collapse section right before the drill station. Yeah, in this particular instance, rebar was used, but you can use guardrail or whatever, which locks into place because of how it's built. Pitch an example of timbering, you know, keeping it in place tight with wedges and drive a wedge in over here and it locks it all in. Again, a piece of rail is employed for head stage. And this is our last drill station right here.
Right
this
here?
is where our last hole we were doing was down hole right here. And of course it was in cracked, broken ground.
Sure.
And it made it really difficult. But that was another direction of the mine. We're going to imminently clear that collapse out and continue on to access the main channel portion of the mine.
Is that quartz back there?
Yes.
Wow.
This is quartz vein right here. This is change. You see where that stringer is? There's a little stringer right there, and then also the boom quartz from here over all the way over there.
Wow.
See that?
Yeah, I didn't miss that. Wow. It's all quartz.
Quartz on top of slate.
That's impressive.
And this wasn't like this. This is drilled and blasted to make it spacious for the core drill. Because you have your steel run, you know, way out here at one time, and you have a water needle that's providing water on it.
So you guys open all this up?
Yeah. Our first core hole is over here, and you can see that there's issues with the drill because by not using casing on it. See how big it made it?
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, and that wobble causes deviation in the tip of it, and it could be going any which direction, you know, kind of a thing.
What's this back here?
That was a raise that goes up to another level. You can climb up there ways, but just collapse again.
Oh, okay.
But there is other levels above us. You know, there's that section of timbered area back where we first came in. There was a set of rail up above us. But just an underground workshop right here. You know, we have a trailer receiver right here because we had a pipe vise mounted on a receiver hitch to hold on to the pipe, be able to break stuff loose. And you see a crystal bug right there, where the crystals are the size of your fist.
Oh yeah, right there.
Extremely fractured, mineralized quartz in here. There's crystals all over here. You know, as far as the miner is concerned, it's not indicative of gold. You see the crystallization all through the quartz, sugar quartz, whatever.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, it doesn't mean gold.
Yeah, there's plenty of good crystals that flopped out of here. Me, I don't believe in breaking them out of the rock. I find them on the ground. That's good enough for me. And you have to give them to your lady. But yeah, this is the back. This is as far as we've gotten. This is probably the last few boxes of cores. I'm sure we didn't leave any empty boxes in here. This is our little workshop back here.
Interesting.
You know, instead of having to go out and fucking get a wrench or something like that, you bring it all in here so you don't have to leave.
That makes sense. It's a long trip out.
It is. It takes an hour for somebody to go out and come back.
Yeah.
You know, and that just eats up your day. So you bring your lunch underground, you eat underground. You stay underground. If you got to piss, you piss underground. If you got to take a mud monkey or a mud falcon, you just take it outside. That's what you actually do shit before work.
Yeah.
And this right here, we'd have our drill exhausting into this to keep the noise down. And you know, of course, it all freezes up with ice because it's decompressing. A little rod there to pull rocks out of the freaking holes and stuff.
Yeah. Cool. Very interesting, man. Thank you very much.
Different spot for our drill steels to be, you know, so they're not in a big mess. You know, standing up everywhere, falling over.
Yeah.
Grassy out.
Alright. Back outside. Cycling down to go home. Get the ventilation fan shut down. There goes the generator. Hear it cycling down. That's pretty cool.